Hello again, Vivaldi. This is going to be our technique video for this week. Now, as all of you hopefully know already, we have a recital coming up very soon on the 16th. And if I'm not mistaken, those of you who are playing at it are going to be playing either Lightly Row or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Now, last week, Mr. Kyle made an excellent video going through those two songs and showing you how to practice them, how to fix rough spots in those two songs. So if you're still working on Lightly Row and Twinkle Twinkle and you still need a little bit of help, feel free to just go back to Mr. Kyle's video that he made last week and watch it again. So we're not going to be covering that in this week's video because Mr. Kyle did such a good job that I don't really think anything needs to be added. So what we are going to do this week is look at a couple pages in String Builder that introduce the notes on the open G string. Now, we've been playing our G major scale for a few weeks already. So really, there are only going to be 4 new notes here. So our open G, our first finger A, our second finger B, and our third finger C natural. Now, you might be asking, C natural? Isn't it usually C sharp? Yes, until now. Yes, we have been playing a C sharp, which is our second finger on the A string. But this C, our third finger on a D string, sounds like this. It's this versus this. Are those the same? Are those the same note? C sharp, C natural, C sharp, C natural. Are they the same? Hopefully you said no, they sound different. And that's why we call them different things. And C sharp is higher than C natural. Okay. So, the first song that we're going to look at is number 80 on page 18. So, all this involves is our open G, our first finger A, and then later on, open D. Now, if you're a violinist, you'll notice that the notes on the open G string are really far down. They're below the 5 lines of the staff. So your open G is always going to be below the staff 1 line and then another line. Just below that second line is your open G. And then you can count up from there. G, and then A, and then B, and then C natural, and then up to open D. It's stepwise. It's the same stuff we've been talking about in previous videos. So, I think that we can try this with the bow. It's not too hard. We'll take it a little slower, and let's see. At the beginning, that top line, what kind of notes are being used? Whole notes, half notes, or quarter notes? Hopefully you said half notes. And how many beats did they get? Hopefully you said 2 beats. And then, when you go down to the bottom line, you start to see what kind of notes? Quarter notes. And how many beats do they get? 1 beat. And the last thing, before we start this, is you'll see on the top line, in that fourth measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, where you see that half rest. So up until then, it's down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then after that, you see another down bow sign. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So in order to make that happen, we have to lift our bow. Now, if you maybe forget how to do that, let's say you're bowing a down bow. You get to the tip, you make a circle in the air, back to the frog, and then you're ready to take another down bow. And so in context, it's going to be this. 1, 2, rest, rest. 1, 2, rest, rest. 1, 2, rest, rest. So I'll give you a moment to get your instrument and your bow ready. Remember, parallel, smooth, left arm. Your bow hold should look like this. And we want to keep our wrist nice and high and loose. If you need to, you can shake it out a little. And it should be okay. So let's all try that. Let's all try doing that bow lift together, okay? Ready, and 1, 2, rest, rest. 1, 2, rest, rest. 1, 2, rest, rest. 1, 2, rest, rest. All right, let's try playing number 80. Remember that open G is going to be the lowest note of all the notes there, and your first finger A is going to be just one step higher. And that huge skip you see towards the end, that's going to be your open D. All right? 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, play. G, A, G, A, G, A, G, and lift your bow. A, G, A, G, A, D, G. Okay, hopefully that was not too bad. And let's go down to the bottom line now. Remember, these are going to be quarter notes now, so they're going to sound a little faster. But it's the same overall. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, play. G, G, A, G, G, A, G, G, open D, first finger A, lift the bow, G, G, A, G, G, A, D, D, G. Now, if number 80 was maybe a little challenging, here are a couple of things you can do. You could put the bow down and pluck, or our fancy word, pizzicato. You can sing the note names in rhythm. You could clap the rhythms, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and so on. Or you could sing the note names. G, A, G, or G, G, A, G. And then you can go to plucking, and then once you feel like you're ready again, you can put the bow back with it. So, the next song that we're going to do is on page 19. It's going to be number 84, and this one adds the note B, which is going to be second finger on your open G string. So this one maybe will be a little easier because it just goes back and forth. Open 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, open 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, open. We've seen that sort of thing before, just on our open D and open A strings. Now, it's on our G string. So remember that G, A, and B are all one step apart on our musical staff. And if you're a violin, these are all going to be below the staff. If you're a viola, it's actually still going to be on the staff, but it's going to be below. It's going to be on the lower half. And your open G will be the bottom space. Yeah, be the bottom space. And then, once you know where open G is, you can just count one step up, another step up, step down, step up, step down, so on and so forth. Remember, these are half notes again, which get how many beats? 2 beats? All right, let's give this a whirl. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, play. G, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, G, A, B, A, B, A, G. Hopefully that wasn't too bad. Again, if you're having some trouble, put the bow away, pluck it, sing the note names, clap the rhythms, do whatever you have to do. So now we are going to look at number 85, which is the tap dancer. Now this is where what we did in our warm-up is really going to help us today. Remember how at the end we played our G major scale, but with a really weird new rhythm that was 3 beats long instead of 4? Remember this? Pineapple, 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 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hopefully you'll remember that. And this song, Tap Dancer, does similar thing. Now, I want you to put your instrument and your bow down for a second. We're going to be doing some extra work with this because it's a little newer and more challenging. So the first thing that I want you to look at, I'm actually going to get my sheet over here, is, see this? It's right next to your clef. It should be just to the right of your clef. See that 3, 4? That is something called a time signature. Now, Mr. Kyle and I may have talked about time signatures before, but maybe you forgot because so far every song we've played has been in the same time signature, 4, 4. Now what 4, 4 means is you've got 4 on the top, 4 on the bottom. Now, this 4 tells you how many beats there are in a measure. And so far, it's been 4. Think about hot cross buns. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or twinkle twinkle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this bottom 4 tells you what kind of note gets that counting beat. And so far it's been our quarter note. Now, if you have 3, 4, if you go from 4, 4 down to 3, 4, this doesn't change. The quarter note still gets the beat. But what's different about, I'll ask this differently. What does this 3 now change? What does it mean now? Give me a second. How many beats are there going to be in the measure now? 3. Instead of 4 beats per measure, there are going to be 3 beats per measure. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's now going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So there's that. Then bring up tap dancer again. See these little squiggly things in between these notes? They are also rests, in the way that we've seen half rests before, where we go 1, 2, rest, rest. This is a similar sort of thing, but these rests are quarter rests. Where am I pointing? These rests are quarter rests, and they last as long as a quarter note. So now it's 1, 2, 3, 1, rest, rest. 1, rest, rest. 1, rest, rest. So, what I want all of you to do right now, you should have your hands free because your instrument and your bow are on the ground. We're going to look at number 85, the tap dancer, and we are going to try and clap these rhythms that we have here. I'm going to do it first. I'm going to demonstrate, and you can listen, and then I'm going to ask you to do it with me. So this is just going to be me for now. 1, 2, 3, 1, rest, rest. 1, rest, rest. 1, rest, rest. 1, 2, 3, 1, rest, rest. 1, rest, rest. 1, rest, rest. 1, 2, 3, 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 1, rest, rest. Hopefully you enjoyed listening. If you started following along with me, that's great. But now we're going to try it together. Okay? Ready and go. 1, 2, 3, 1, rest, rest. 1, rest, rest. 1, rest, rest. 1, 2, 3, 1, rest, rest. 1, rest, rest. 1, rest, rest. 1, 2, 3, 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 1, rest, rest. So hopefully it makes sense. You're always going to have 3 beats per measure, and you just have to look out for which measures have 3 notes and which measures only have 1 note and 2 rests. So now that we have that, I want to actually sing the note names. Still doing the clapping rhythm that we were doing before, and now we're going to try singing the note names along with it. Okay? Ready and go. G, G, A, B, rest, rest. A, rest, rest, G, rest, rest, G, G, A, B, rest, rest, A, rest, rest, G, rest, rest, B, B, G, A, rest, rest, B, B, A, G, rest, rest, B, B, G, A, rest, rest, B, B, A, G, rest, rest. I almost messed up myself there. I know, it's tricky, but it's the same notes that we've been playing for the past 20 minutes, but just in a new form. All right? Now what we're going to try doing is plucking it, because that's always a good kind of in-between step between just without the instrument and with the bow. The plucking is always a good middle ground because you don't have to worry about doing this. So remember, open G, first finger A, second finger B. The G is going to be the lowest note, B is going to be the highest note, and the A is going to be the one in the middle. So, ready and go. G, G, A, B, rest, rest, A, rest, rest, G, rest, rest, G, G, A, B, rest, rest, A, rest, rest, G, rest, rest, B, B, G, A, rest, rest, B, B, A, G, rest, rest, B, B, G, A, rest, rest, B, B, A, G, rest, rest. If you need to try that again, just pause and rewind to where we started playing. Now, once you're ready, you can add the bow. So, when you are pausing during these rests, you do not have to lift the bow. You do not. Okay? Let's take a moment, maybe shake our wrist out a bit because we haven't been bowing for a while. Make sure your wrist is nice and high and loose. It's dangling. Okay? Let's try this. A little slower. Ready and go. G, G, A, B, rest, rest, A, rest, rest, G, rest, rest, G, G, A, B, rest, rest, A, rest, rest, G, rest, rest, B, B, G, A, rest, rest, B, B, A, G, rest, rest, B, B, G, A, rest, rest, B, B, A, G, rest, rest. So again, if you want to hear me play, if you want to hear me play with the bow again, pause, rewind, go back to where I started playing. So, in the tap dancer, the one thing that might trip you up a little bit once you get the hang of the 3/4 and the rests is at the beginning of the bottom line, instead of going from O to 1 to 2, you go 2, O, 1. 2, 2, O, 1, B, B, A, G. And that's the sort of thing that, as Mr. Kyle was explaining last week with Lightly Road Twinkle Twinkle, you can isolate that part and just loop it until you get it right, until it feels good. Like this. B, B, A, G, and then loop. B, B, G, A. I said the wrong notes. I'm so sorry. Let's try that again. B, B, G, A, and loop. B, B, G, A, and loop. B, B, G, A, and loop. And you can keep doing that over and over and over again until it feels good to you. So, I know I went pretty fast on that, but you can always pause and rewind for anything that you need to see or hear another time, or another 10 times. So the last song that we're going to do today is number 86. And we're going to do this just to get used to our C natural. Now, the difference in writing between the C natural and the C sharp is that the C sharp has that little like hashtag sign next to it, and that indicates sharp. This C doesn't have anything next to it, so that's how you know it's a C natural. And remember, the C is going to be one step above your B. And in 86, the C is now going to be the highest note. So remember, G, A, B, C. I think that because we are used to this sort of pattern in our scale, we can just try it with the bow. This is going to be half notes. 1, 2, ready, play. G, A, B, C, B, C, B, A, G, A, B, C, B, A, G. Hopefully that was okay. It's the same sort of pattern that you see in the G major scale, just going back and forth between those lower notes. Okay, so that is going to be it for today's technique video. However, remember, you have a recital coming up, and whatever song that you're choosing to do, please make sure that you are continuing to work on it, and if you still need some help with it, remember to watch Mr. Kyle's video from last week. In our email, we will make sure to resend it so that you guys can remember. And we'll also send out pages from String Builder that I just used. Okay? Have a good week, everyone.